And what is up, everybody? We are live. West Coast Wednesdays presented by West Coast Graps. I'm Suge Wrestling. That's Matty Laws. We're back again for another week. How you doing, man?
It's been a damn good week. If we're talking about the actual week we had, 10-year anniversary with my lady. We were up in the mountains, beautiful views, wonderful weekend. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, literally the day after the anniversary, got some really depressing news.
Yeah. I'm sure that everyone watching has heard about the tragic passing of beloved deathmatch wrestler Sabu. We're gonna touch on that one at the end of the episode, but this episode is definitely for our boy. Points up
Yeah,
real quick.
this one's for Sabu. We'll definitely give him his flowers and his love. The end of this episode will be for that. But right now, let's crack into the news because apparently there's been some shit.
There's been a lot going on. Let's start with um, a promotion we've been showing a lot of love lately. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. They had, I think it was their second or third show. They're reviving the brand, and they just crowned their men's and women's champions this week. And I was watching clips of the show, and everybody's like, "Damn, this was like good TNA."
Oh, I wonder why. So I
Yeah, what?
watched I watched the first couple Maple Leaf Pro shows just to see. It legit felt same production value, same look, or not the same look, but it felt like the TNA that brought, or the Impact that brought everybody back to TNA.
Yeah,
Like
the I
it felt
mean,
just like that. It's crisp. The action is hard hitting and heavy. They're telling fantastic stories in the ring. You're getting dream matches. We got Takeshita versus fucking Josh Alexander before Alexander got to AEW. So like they're cooking with fucking kerosene over there. But I did not get a chance to watch their new show. So should go ahead and carry us through that.
I saw bits and pieces. The match I was looking at the most was actually Gabe Kidd versus Michael Oku in Speedball.
What a weird styles match.
Yeah, that was a very interesting match.
Because like I
Gabe
can
Kidd
see
is
it
like,
working.
huh?
I can see that working stylistically, but like you've got the aggressive brawler in Gabe Kidd. You've got Speedball, who everybody knows. He's got that martial arts background. He's kicks. He's very athletic. But you've got Michael Oku, who is an incredibly underrated technical wrestler.
I
So,
just feel like it's one of those things where like real hoopers can understand. You don't need no story. You don't need like an excessive amount of promos. Uh,
just
Speedball
put
is
on good
exciting
graphs.
yeah, just real graps. Speedballs is exciting new fans over in AEW. Michael Oku is a name that a lot of people in America aren't familiar with, and Gabe Kidd is probably like the heel of the century.
Yeah, I mean, he really has come into his own this last calendar year plus. Like, Gabe Kidd has, I believe, reached that. He's almost to that superstar level.
Yeah,
Like he is now world known. Like people in WWE know who Gabe Kidd is. People in AEW know who Gabe Kidd is. He's fucking one of the only people that Japanese audiences get loud for,
oh
and
yeah,
he's a
and
titan.
most of the time he's cussing these people out. Like I saw Gabe Kidd at Strong Style Evolve, and I was like, I think I get it. I because he was on one. Um, he was
And
like,
he's a
"Hey,
good.
if you
He's good in the ring too. I don't know
yeah,
who
no,
trained him.
amazing."
Did he come out of the dojo?
He did.
Okay, so he's fucking good, dude. I see him being a real superstar here in the next maybe 6 months. When his contract ends in New Japan, he's going to be on national television.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna take the Kevin Knight route. I don't think he's gonna fully leave New Japan, but he'll definitely split his time.
Okay.
Yeah, I because the internet wrestling community will ultimately give him a bunch of hell because he said he'd never wrestle for. I think he called him a skinny neck loser, as in Tony Khan. Don't quote me on that, but it sounds something very Gabe kiddish.
Hey,
Like,
hey. I mean, it wouldn't be the only person that's been popping off at the mouth at Tony Khan. So,
hey, we could talk about that too. I don't think we ever got to talk about Javon Evans calling Tony Khan a crackhead.
bro, when you sent that to the group chat, I was like, "Oh, this is someone with a spam account. This is someone." And you were like, "Nah, this is real." And everybody at WWE got to take media literacy courses.
Yeah, no, they called him into the PC. It was like, yeah, we can't go around calling people crackheads on the internet.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation between Javon Evans and I'm assuming both Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Matt Bloom in the background, like we
Javon, you
get it.
can't go around calling Tony Khan a crackhead. I worked with him.
No, for real. I remember that, and I don't remember that for the good portion of the tenure. All I remember is them messing his name up. I think it was Dasha
Oh yeah,
Gonzalez. Jay Malachi.
yeah. 'Cause when he was Jay Malachi.
Yeah, like we gotta we gotta do a tad bit better on asking these people, hey, how do you like your name pronounced?
I mean, they sent Eva Marie out there on WWE television. Remember?
I don't want to think
And
about
she
Eva Marie.
and she called the man Ginger Mahal.
Ginger.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. She called him Ginger Mahal.
We've had some terrible
We've had
we've
some
had
bad
some
ring announcers.
we had some terrible mistakes. I remember on TNA they were announcing the former um what's her name? The lady with the fans?
Xia Li.
Yeah, they were announcing the former Xia Li, and I think she was from like I don't know where in China she was from, but the announcer said Ching Chong, China.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, I do remember that.
Hey, that you yeah, no, you gotta
That
go,
was wild.
bro.
That was wild.
we we can't even make excuses for that. You gotta go.
Hey, you know what? You guys have him on commentary. Get that motherfucker in there doing get ring introductions because at least he wouldn't do that.
Make them do both. Like announce, then go put your headset back on because we can't have anything like that happen again.
But yeah, nah. How you? I mean, I understand he's 20 years old now, or is he 19 still?
20.
Okay, so he just turned 20. I understand being young, but even so, you got to look at this as a job and think that, hey, maybe I'm not going to call somebody at the other company a crackhead on social media.
Yeah, and everybody got heat for it. I got a little heat for it. Somebody said he's not burning bridges. I'm like, what do you mean he's not burning bridges? He just called the man a
That,
crackhead. And
that
apparently,
motherfucker threw a Molotov cocktail onto a wooden bridge.
apparently that was me calling the brother out. Some people are strange. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey man, it's
It,
that
it's
vegan chili between your ears.
there's people on the internet that take this way too seriously.
Oh yeah.
It's a thin line, and I just like it's a very thin line. And I'll say I don't necessarily get too riled up about these people because you know, um, I know these aren't the people I'm going to be bumping into when West Coast grabs finally get somewhere. Not people I'm gonna be bumping
Yeah.
into at the Waffle House after the show in the press room, like the homies. You know, we
Yeah.
got some good news. We got good news about one of the homies not too long ago. So these these aren't the people who you will be working. I will be working with in the future. I'm okay if I said something that offended you on the internet. I'm sorry.
We can talk about it.
We could talk about it. I'm approachable.
We're
Hit me up.
adults.
Yeah, we should be adults. We watch something that like the most profitable company considers for children, but we can be adults about these things.
Just because a product is centered towards children doesn't mean it needs to act like
Just
children.
just WWE. Yeah, just eat, just cuz, you know.
Did we talk about Impact and their blood policy that they just implemented?
No, we did not.
Right after, no, yeah, we did because we keep talking about Steve Macklin gigging like Devon
Oh
Dudley.
yeah. Okay, we did. Yeah.
But notice how right after we talk about that, he still bleeds in the match that he wins the international title.
After this.
We'll let you do it one more time.
After this, yeah. What else we got? We got some updates on the release wrestlers that we had to make a whole extra special episode about. I just dropped
That
my
one was
phone.
crazy too.
I hold on, let me I
Pick up
was
your
using that
phone.
for the yeah, I was using that for the episode, so I kind of need to hold on. Shout out to all 14 of y'all that are locked in with us today.
Yeah, because some of these releases, they've already got gigs lined up. They've already got you know shows planned, not just wrestling shows.
Yeah, so let's start out with that one because that one caught me way off left field. Um,
Well, I had
Bron-
I had heard that there was something in the works for him, which is why he had been off TV for so long before his I think his match with Jacob Fatu.
yeah,
Uh, but I did not expect it to be something along the lines of an Adam Richmond.
right. And I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like this is a great move just for someone's health because Braun Breaker, not excuse me, the other Braun Strowman is he's a former power lifter. So he has a very high calorie count for the day. That's part of the
Oh
reason
yeah.
I wanted to get into powerlifting and working out because I used to read what the great Khali had to eat in a day for like to keep his calories up. This man was eating like 8 chicken, 12 eggs
Good lord! In one sitting?
in one day, not one sitting.
Okay, okay, okay.
Let me see if I can pull that up because that shout out to the people who remember WWE magazine.
Man, I used to have a Jeff Hardy poster from one of those fucking magazines.
You did? I had man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a Chris Benoit poster up when he
Ooh,
when he did his dirt. I had the 4 real chain. Like the real know that you used to see the merch in the magazine,
in the
fill out the little
magazine,
clipping at the bottom, send it out.
and
Wait six
hope
to
to
eight weeks.
God, and hope to God that shit show up.
In 6 to 8 weeks. No tracking
Bro,
numbers, no nothing.
I remember very vividly when I was younger. I had one of those, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna just circle all the ones that I want, and then show my mom, and hopefully she can get it." And whenever I brought it to her, she's like, "Because you circled all these, I can't send it off because I can't pay for all of them." And I'm like, "Ah, shit."
Yeah, no, yeah, you gotta you like want everything, mom.
I had like four Rey Mysterio masks, one of those replica title belts. Back then, those replica title belts weren't fucking crazy like they are now. They didn't cost a fucking house payment.
Oh yeah, like I'm still trying to get a belt. I can't find the entire meal plan, but like part of this headline says 70 eggs and 2 liters of milk.
Liters. That's a lot of milk. I like milk, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of fucking milk.
I'm still looking. I'm still looking.
70 eggs.
He admits in real life he eats close to 60 to 70 eggs a day. At the beginning of his career, he used to eat 15 to 20 eggs per meal.
Good God. I'm just imagining cooking that.
That's crazy. 2 liters of milk every day, at least 2 liters.
At least.
This man has
That's
a
very.
legendary diet.
This man's got a legendary gut.
And all of that is going to maintenance, and that's crazy. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm like, oh, let me see what these powerlifters is talking about. This man talking about and he gets to eat cookies at night too.
Hey,
Like,
Suge, I don't think you can afford that, boy.
yeah, I can't afford them eggs. No, I stay with chicken thighs because they cheap. But nah, I used to love eggs. I used to have 3 eggs every day, and then when these eggs got so expensive, I had to cut that out. Like, I still
Dude,
miss it
the prices are just now starting to come down on eggs,
barely.
but it's not by much. It's not by
I
much.
I be in the store making like real life decisions, staring at the eggs. Like, do I really want to pay $6 for 12 eggs?
It's about the same out here, man. I think it's like 5.49, 5.59 out here.
Is this something I really want to do today?
But
But
yeah,
yeah, let's the
America,
new
get your goddamn
champions.
eggs down.
So new champions in Maple Leaf Pro, we got Josh Alexander, and then we also hold on, let me pull it up. I don't want to get the names wrong because y'all know I will mess up a name like royally. I don't think we covered that one. We just sort of skipped over Giselle Shaw and Josh Alexander, new champs in
Okay.
Maple Leaf Pro.
Two of Scott Demore's like closest like loyalists whenever he left
To
TNA.
be
So
honest, I believe he might have trained them.
really,
Scott Demore opened a wrestling school in 1993,
okay,
and
that
now
would make sense.
the head trainer is Josh Alexander.
Oh, then yeah, he had to. We'll probably look into that more and find out that yeah, he is the trainer for Josh Alexander and like half of that fucking Impact roster.
So it makes sense why everyone was so loyal.
Hmm.
But we got Braun Strowman. People are using the term WWE legend hella loosely because this WWE legend Braun Strowman. I don't know about that one, Chief.
I mean, he's got a lot of titles, man.
What does that mean?
That means that WWE can slap the word legend on the end of your name.
I guess. I mean, because one of those tag team titles was held with the child. Let's not forget. I feel like the most entertaining tag team that he was a part of with Ricochet didn't even do nothing.
Because he couldn't fucking move. Them knees became Kevin Nash's knees.
Ah, that's tough.
And he was still doing that fucking run around the ring bullshit.
I'm glad he stopped that.
I am too, because we would have seen him fucking fall. And tear his ACL or some shit.
So we also have Elena Black. She just announced 5 dates with GCW.
To those who don't know, Elena Black, the former Cora Jade.
the former Cora Jade. Hopefully, that's a fruitful decision. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. We also have Shotzi Blackheart announced for MLW.
Ooh. See, I feel like
Yeah,
MLW is going to be a good spot for Shotzi.
and yeah, that's really. Let me check my other page real quick because I got Jakara Jackson just released a tell-all video about her what she's doing next and if she's going to continue wrestling. Y'all go check that out. That's on YouTube.
I'm going to have to go check that one out.
Absolutely. I know we got a few. There's definitely a few more. Dakota Kai or King Coda, whatever she's going by. She had apparently there was a lot of people interested in signing her, a lot of wrestling agents, but she hasn't announced anything yet. So we'll keep an eye on that situation.
Oh, dude, if she doesn't pop up in either Stardom or AEW, I don't know what's going on. It's going to
Or
be a
both.
big company, though.
Or both. But we also had Backlash this weekend. Let's not stray too far away from Backlash. I know you said you didn't catch all of it. Um,
Pat
I caught
McAfee and
most.
Gunther was a really fun match.
I caught most of it. I this was the day that I just so happened to forget my Bluetooth earbuds for work, and so I had some in ears I was testing out in my bag, and I just so happened to have a dongle because my car has a hole in the tire sidewall, so I haven't drove it in a little over a
Oh,
week.
shit.
Yeah, like like I knew my tires were like I knew at least one of my tires was bad because like it's an old car. I don't know when the last time I got a tire change was, but it was some dry rotting issues. But now I got to actually get it fixed.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, so we're down to one car, but the one car we do have has aux cord, and so I had the dongle in there. I went out and I grabbed it, and I caught the matches I felt would be worth watching. I thought it started at 4:30 and not 4, so I ended up missing the Jacob Fatu opener. So I went back for that. I caught most of the women's intercontinental. Um, I missed the regular intercontinental championship match, and I caught everything else.
So, how do you feel knowing that Matanza Cueto is in the WWE at 42 years old?
I'm glad you brought up the fact that he's 42. Um, First of all, shout out to Lucha Underground. Some
Lucha
people
Underground getting big represent.
the standouts from Lucha Underground that weren't already signed to like AAA and being used heavily in AAA are either in AEW or in WWE. So clearly they did something right. Even
Yeah,
MLW has been able to capitalize on the popularity of Lucha Underground because even they have um, Dario Cueto or whatever he's going by over there, Caesar Duran now over there. So some people don't know that some people don't know Lucha Underground Matanza. Some people were introduced to Matanza as Matanza Duran for a second before he took his jumpsuit off, and it was Jeff Cobb. I feel like
yeah.
a lot of people have a lot to watch in this man's career. Um,
There's a
it
lot
seems,
of it.
oh,
Jeff
my
Cobb
kid,
has a long fucking career, dude.
my kid is drawing, so
Oh,
I got this handed to me in the middle of the episode. Y'all see it? This the next Picasso. Yeah, it's
hey
that
man,
that Picasso.
you gotta nurture that artistic love, man.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm still getting drawings. We're still drawing. But yeah, this seems like a Shinsuke Nakamura esque move to me. You know, you want to retire at the most profitable wrestling company in the world.
Oh yeah, he's probably getting a pretty big bag just to have 2, 3 years with the company, maybe.
And that's one of the things I see. I'm glad you brought that up again. I don't see a lot of the people who signed with WWE for the second end of the Bloodline story lasting very long in the company.
Oh, dude, I think the Tongans might already have their foot out the door.
They're injured.
Both of them?
They're both injured. Yes, the
Damn.
Tongans are injured. Um, People want to say that doesn't bench people, but we have not seen anything from Hikuleo at all.
Did he officially get signed?
Yes, but they were gonna start him in NXT. I would have thought that Hikuleo would have been perfect for the run in at Backlash, but Jeff Cobb is Jeff Cobb. I understand the signing. You know, it makes sense. Um,
He still has a
at
lot in the
least for
tank
Cobb.
too.
Yeah, what'd you say?
He still has a lot in the tank too.
Oh, for sure. It definitely makes sense for Cobb at this stage in his career. You know, probably making the best money he's ever made in wrestling, and that's saying something. I can't wait to see how this story pans out, and I also can't wait to see who sticks around with the company. I can see the Gorillas of Destiny not staying too long. Hikuleo probably staying a little bit longer. Um, the writing seems to be on the wall for Solo Sokoa because they haven't given him anything meaningful to do.
Well, I feel like this is going to be the start of something because I don't think they want to let go of Solo.
Mm, I, I feel like he deserves better. I'm not gonna lie to you because he did hold down. He was a huge part of holding down that post WrestleMania 40 low when Roman went home.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
Like I feel like Solo needs to move on from the whole faction thing. Solo needs to move on from this whole bloodline bullshit.
you think it goes back to NXT?
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but they've already had him established up on the main roster. I wouldn't be against, you know,
But
getting him started through the mid card again.
yeah, but we've also seen that they don't necessarily consider NXT as a B show anymore.
Hey, you can send him down there and see if he can't get some training in AAA.
That'd be cool. There
Because
there
I
is a
guarantee
whole
you, he'd be one hell of a base.
yeah. I forget, and he used to move a lot faster before he became a this super heel guy. He used to work I think his work rate was a lot similar to the Usos back in the day,
Oh yeah.
but he changed things around a lot.
I think to fit what they wanted in WWE.
Yeah, you kind of got to give WWE what they want, unfortunately. But the Fatal Four Way at Backlash was very cool. I enjoyed it a lot. Um, that really held down that entire show for me. Not even gonna lie to you. Like
The
that was
U.S. title.
yeah, the U.S. title Fatal Four Way. Everything else was incredibly predictable, and that's not necessarily what I don't enjoy that about wrestling nowadays because you don't want to take the belt off of Solo because he just won it. You don't want to take the belt off of
Dominic, because he just won
Dom
it.
because he just won it. You could take the belt off of Lyra, but the story didn't isn't there yet.
I felt like that match fell really flat. But
Okay,
also, I think Lyra broke her fucking nose.
she did. So we might need to put the belt on somebody else anyway.
You can put a mask on her. One of those
Give her the black
protective.
mask. I feel like they
Yeah.
should explain her character more because I was seeing somebody online saying that she's not a bird. Like she's the bird that's like the embodiment of death in her culture. Like that bird that brings
Oh, okay.
battle and yeah, and war and like I feel like we should do a better job at explaining these things because it doesn't necessarily translate to an American audience. We're just out here wooing at her.
I
You get with
mean,
the
the music doesn't help.
yeah. I've just can we explain that better moving forward? Maybe give her a black mask and a new attitude.
I mean, she's still also like really timid. Like her character right now just feels like the happy to be their baby face.
Right. And that's cool for us because we're happy to be here.
Yeah, but in like in NXT, she was so different.
Like now she has something to prove. Let's work with it. Let's let's push that character. You know, you have her up against a man, and it's like, okay, she's a plucky baby face, and Becky Lynch is Becky Hogan.
But
Let
yeah, the match was good, but not what it should have been for a mentor and student. You know.
absolutely. Speaking of mentor and student, John Cena put our truth through a table.
Yeah, that was also a really fun match. I will say that the match was really fun. Cena and Orton with the roles reversed. Damn,
That's what we
it
needed.
was so
That's like
fun.
everybody was like, I don't want to see it. I want. We needed that. And in St. Louis, we needed that.
With the heel Cena winning in St. Louis, it was crazy, dude. It really was. And you really could see how much the match meant to both Orton and Cena because likely Orton's last world title match, likely Orton's last world title match in front of St. Louis. Definitely
Definitely in
Cena's
front of
last
St.
match in Cena's in front of St. Louis. Definitely Cena's last world title match in St. Louis. Their final match against each other because I don't think they're going to run it back one more time. I think that's the last time we see Cena and Orton.
Yeah, I think Orton says he might go 10 more years. Who knows?
That is such bullshit because we know his goddamn bump card is like 3 back bumps a match.
Yeah, no, he only has a good 5 back bumps in him per match. And it shocked me to see him give that many RKOs because he RKO'd Aldis for the third time. Jamie
Yeah,
Noble, shout out to
he's gonna
Jamie
have to
Noble.
he's gonna have to pay a good fine now.
Shane Helms got an RKO. I think Davari caught one.
Did the referee catch one too?
Yeah, I think the first referee got knocked over, and then the second referee came out and took a bump, and then they said nobody else wants to come out here and officiate the match. What like at what point in a job has they cared about what you wanted to do?
Oh, we don't care about that, Bubba. Go out there.
Yeah, you see, this is your dream job. Go on out there and take an RKO for the company.
Uh, I will say the ending of that match, I was not expecting.
And then our truth came out. That was that right there. That's what this whole heel turn needed. That's what we needed
I
at
was
WrestleMania.
expecting. I was expecting the low blow finish. You know, Cena cheating to beat Orton. I was not expecting our truth to go out there and sacrifice himself. Also,
And then
what the hell happened to his hair?
I'm glad you said it. That boy got the
It,
party. That boy got the business in the front, party in the back.
my hair. I don't feel so bad now.
Oh, see, you got one too. Like this is about as long as I'm gonna get.
I don't feel so bad.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been seeing people get like a fade and just leave the back on. It's like even
Oh
if
hell
all
no.
this was bald, I've been seeing like them fading this. I'll send you a video, but I might try it. I might get the just the back, but that needs to be studied. I hope something comes out of this R Truth thing. I think it should have happened earlier. I think it should have happened before Mania. Actually,
No, I feel like Cena winning the title and R Truth being behind him, still like being that delusional, still showed uh, showed everybody like R Truth is going to be a key piece in this story. I
that'd be
hope
great.
the AA. I hope the AA through a table sends our truth ballistic, and we get 2011 our truth.
With little Jimmy, bring little Jimmy back.
Yeah, bring little Jimmy back, go full fucking psychopath, and like start assaulting Cena. Like, be the same our truth. Be that you know that psychopathic assaulting our truth, but he's full blown babyface because the crowd just hates Cena.
Hell yeah. Speaking of people that the wrestling fandom love to hate, the Miz is also hosting his own show.
Oh God, I heard about that, and I just really hope that this gets more than one season.
It I don't think the last reboot did, because wasn't Hulk Hogan the host of that one?
It was either Hogan or The Rock.
It was Hogan, because I think they played Brooke Hogan's music um, for commercial back when she was trying to be a pop star.
Didn't The Rock had a show like American Gladiator? By the way, Miz is hosting American Gladiator.
Yeah, the Miz is hosting American Gladiator.
I've always loved American Gladiator. I thought the show was fun, game show style like Wipeout. But God, give it more than one season because I think Miz could
Please.
carry this shit.
It was interesting when I saw it, but I was also a kid that kind of watched everything that AEW or WWE or TNA told me to watch at the time. I think it was TNA.
Yeah, anything that wrestling is attached to.
Well, I'll check it out. That's how I got into metal. They were like, you can watch this stuff on Headbangers Ball. And I was like, all right, I'll fuck with it.
God, Headbangers Ball is such a throwback.
I miss it. But
God damn.
speaking of, AEW seems to finally be listening to our critiques. For the longest time, we were like, hey, these AEW pay-per-views sell out everywhere they go. But TV, not so much. And they had a series of residencies in Texas, I want to say, of last year, where Dustin Rhodes won the Ring of Honor Tag Team and Trios Championship with Sammy Guevara as a tag team partner and Marshall and Ross Von Erich as a Trios tag team partner. And with the success of that, it seems like they've announced a string of residencies to carry out the rest of the year. The first of which, I want to say, one of which is at AEW at the 2300 Arena, which should ring bells for all of you ECW fans. It's actually going to be AEW and Ring of Honor. We have a couple.
How many days at 2300 are they doing?
Looks like they're doing 7 dates.
Damn.
We're
And
getting
2300,
3.
Philadelphia is such a wild crowd for wrestling and
Oh
like
yeah.
such a small. It's This is going to be good for AEW. What's the other venue?
Oh, so let me break it down. You're getting 3 Dynamites, 3 Collisions, and Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor.
Okay. A lot of good Ring of Honor pay per views have been held at the 2300, by the way.
Absolutely. And I think the next one is in Chicago.
Also a fantastic location.
I was just looking at, yes. This one actually starts in July. So they're getting their summer residencies down. We're going to have 3 episodes of Dynamite and 3 episodes in Collision. at the Argonne Ballroom.
Okay.
Aragon, that place.
Is it was it
Um,
was it known as a different location previously?
yeah, so I think they did a. I don't know if it was known as a different location. I think they just ran like the stadium or whatever large, um, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
I
Whatever
know what you
large stadium esque,
arena.
arena esque. Yeah, that word, because you could set out an arena with CM Punk. That used to be their
In
Chicago draw.
Chicago? Absolutely.
Yeah, that used to be the play for Chicago. We're going to Chicago. Let's hit up CM Punk, and then we also have a few more wrestlers announced for Triple Mania. We got the Nemesis, Joe Hendry. I think we already announced that one, and Moose
We're getting
all
Lucha
going.
Moose.
Lucha Moose.
I know Sugar's so excited for that.
I wasn't. I was. I was not at all. I he got you got to catch people. That's all I'm saying.
If you want to
you,
work in Mexico, you
you
got
you
to catch
you
people.
can't you can't pull that shit in Mexico, big dog. You gotta.
Just watch someone bounce off the fucking mat in Mexico.
Yeah, you can't do that. They'll throw some shit at your ass for real. Speaking of throwing things, somebody threw a beer bottle at John Cena, and now there are no bottles left. You
So
can't bring any
I heard it
bottles.
wasn't. I heard it wasn't a beer bottle. I heard it was a plastic water bottle, and everybody on the floor level was getting their water bottles poured into cups by staff and
Yeah,
security.
yeah.
So looks like going forward, y'all fuck it up for everybody.
Everybody. I mean, I don't buy. I don't. I usually don't buy stuff at the arena anyway because it's way more expensive. Like we went to so we were at Staples for, or excuse me, Crypto. We were at Crypto for, was that Revolution?
Yeah, I think it was Revolution, and it's Staples Center to me still. God damn it,
Okay, I'm glad I'm not
you
the
are
only
not
one.
you are not desecrating the home in which Kobe played.
That part, but they had a smart store where you just swipe your card and you can pick up whatever you want and walk out with it, and it just charges you
We're getting closer and closer to Skynet every day.
every damn day. But y'all not worried. I am.
I'm hella worried. We should
Used
both be worried.
used mortar oil and sand will disrupt mechanical parts. That's all I'm saying. I think it's oil-based paint, motor oil, and sand. Put that in a water balloon and toss it at your robot overlords.
We got a way to win this, folks.
We do. You just got to be crafty. And now, I believe we come to a part of the episode we low-key been dreading over the
But it's
weekend.
it's it's necessary.
Yeah, over the weekend we lost the true icon of not just wrestling but deathmatch wrestling. A niche not everybody wants to get into. We lost the great Sabu, excuse me, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu this weekend at the age of 60. I don't believe a cause of death has been announced yet,
Not yet.
but we do, not yet. And first of all, we just want to give a moment of silence for that before we move forward. Just a way to show our respects. We want to pause for that because there was a loss of life. There was a person outside of the wrestling ring, of the deathmatch community. He touched many people. We've seen many touching tributes on the internet from wrestlers and fans alike. But it seems that there might have been some things going on personally, and that happened at his retirement match that might have contributed to what he had going on. And what he did not discuss, I've heard that he had a heart condition that he kept private, and so there's not
Which
much information.
for him to keep that under wraps, that's not too out of left field because of all the injuries that he wrestled with on a constant basis throughout his career.
Right, like I
So
was
of
for
course, he wasn't going to disclose he had a heart problem or anything like that.
right, like I was watching that one chiropractor guy that likes to film WWE chiropractic sessions, and
Mm.
he said, like Sabu himself said, he had a broken neck and he only took 2 weeks off.
Yeah, the broken neck he suffered in the match with Benoit, correct?
He didn't say. Has he broken his neck more than once?
He broke his neck in a match in ECW against Chris Benoit. It's honestly where Benoit got the nickname the Crippler from. But
Ah,
it was a botched backdrop. Sabu landed like on the crown of his head and kind of fucking whipped back like that,
oh yeah,
and
that'll do it.
he wasn't moving. So they actually like Public Enemy came out. I believe New Jack and shit came out. Basically, they just did a whole massive brawl to hide away from the fact that Sabu couldn't fucking move.
Ah,
So if that's the one he was talking about, yeah, he did show up 2 weeks. I believe 2 weeks after for ECW TV and threw
that's
a chair
amazing.
at someone.
And I think he almost I think Rey Mysterio almost broke his neck in a spot with Sabu on one of the one night stand shows.
Yep, I believe Ray said he was inches away from breaking his neck.
Yeah. So again, when they say don't try this at home, don't try this at home.
So
But
let's bring up some of the stuff that Sabu was known most for. Uh, Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley both have credited him as the originator for Get the Tables. For Sabu in the early '90s was one of the first people to use tables frequently, and this was before tables were gimmicked and shit. So if he didn't break the table, he was doing that shit again. Whether it was a
again,
moonsault, whether it was a leg drop, he would break non-gimmicked tables for the entertainment of the crowd. He was the first person to do it, and later on, it was picked up by ECW and WCW and WWE. Sabu's influence is touching wrestling much more than just what he did in the hardcore matches, which we can get into all of the crazy shit. He tore his bicep open on fucking barbed wire and taped that shit up to continue a match. I
yeah,
repeat,
for
he
real.
had an open bicep and he taped that shit up with ring tape
Crazy.
and proceeded
And
to continue.
my favorite Sabuism is Sabu was the very first wrestler I watched like just pick up a chair and throw it dead at somebody's face.
No care for if you were paying attention to it or not. He would stand up, he would see you were on 2 feet, and that chair's coming at you.
Yeah, no, he was just straight Pikachu face if you didn't see it coming. Just, ah,
If I'm not mistaken, one of the greatest potheads of our time, RVD, has credited Sabu for getting him into the love of 420. So there's another bit of story there as well. Uh, I just listened to, and I don't know if you're a fan of theirs, but the Busted Open podcast with Bubba Ray, Tommy Dreamer,
a little
and
bit.
all of that. But they had Sandman on. Sandman, of course, traveling partners with Sabu for decades. Uh, it was wild hearing him even get like shaky in the voice. Like you don't think of hearing Sandman get like that,
No, not
but
at all.
yeah, you can tell that Sabu has had. I mean, if it wasn't for him, uh, people said Hayabasa wasn't going to succeed in FMW if it wasn't for their series of matches out there.
Yeah.
Hayabasa, of course, the main one of the main inspirations for Will Ospreay now.
I believe
So
there's a new Hayabusa too.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think it's his daughter, isn't it?
I think so.
Um, but yeah, like Sabu's influence is much more than just you know being Sabu. But he wrestled for every goddamn promotion he possibly could. He was there for WCW, ECW, WWE. He was at TNA's fifth weekly pay per view where he showed up unannounced. uh, yeah, it's and for me personally, being the deathmatch fan that I am, looking up to deathmatch wrestling, I'll always remember Terry Funk versus Sabu barbed wire no ropes barbed wire death match. I believe, yeah, that was the one where Sabu ripped his arm open and taped it up to continue. But like
Yeah,
going back and watching that match, knowing both of them are gone, is going to be hard.
I understand. My favorite, I'll give you two. I think my favorite rivalry with Sabu is Taz, followed
Absolutely.
followed closely by Abyss.
Oh, the run that he had in TNA against Abyss, Jeff Hardy, Malice, like the shit he was doing in early 2005, 2006 was insane.
Nuts.
And remember, he himself said he did not want to do thumbtacks because he didn't think they were safe enough.
That's saying something.
What else is there? Sabu RVD told a story where Sabu botched on purpose to
Yeah,
keep other wrestlers on their toes.
he said 90% of the stuff I botched I could have hit. I just wanted. But let's get to Cap's thoughts, and then we'll talk
Yeah.
about what has come out since.
So Cap is one of my great friends, my co-host, my brother, but he's also one of the old heads of wrestling. So I had to ask him what his final thoughts were before we went live. He was a legend of his time and an innovator in the business. One of the first hardcore guys I ever watched. I always thought he could have and should have been a lot bigger and better than he was, but he was Sabu, and he was going to do things his way. And in all fairness, just so I am quoted properly, I feel the exact way about Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, Raven, RVD, and a bunch of those ECW guys. Uh, he says that along with RVD and Dreamer, Sabu should have been one of the biggest names after ECW, way before ECW ever folded.
Yeah,
So that's coming from someone who has been quoted on air as saying he hates hardcore wrestling because he doesn't really see it working in the modern scape. But that was his thoughts on Sabu, one of the greatest wrestlers maybe we've ever seen.
and somebody who was around for it. Like, yeah, I was around for ECW, but I wasn't able to watch. This is someone who was able to watch.
He was around for the tape trading days. He was able to see these matches, Terry Funk versus Sabu. He was able to see uh, the tag team matches with RVD. And that's another thing we didn't touch on. Sabu was a tag team guy for a large portion of his time in ECW too.
Yeah, with RVD.
Like the shit that those two would do was insane. Matches against the Dudley Boys, matches against the Public Enemy, New Jack and Mustafa. Like
shout out,
if
shout out to Strictly for the Culture.
if you if you have the time in your day, go watch because I know it's on there. Go watch Sabu versus John Cena on Raw and watch how the crowd is behind Sabu for that match.
Hey, look, I'm gonna show off. I'm gonna show off my daughter's drawing. Shout out to Strictly
You
for the
have to.
Culture. By the way,
But yeah, are there any matches that stick to your mind other than like the match with Abyss?
Definitely the Cena one. Rey Mysterio versus Sabu. We talked about a little bit earlier.
In a match, I
That
don't even
that's
think Rey Mysterio was ready for.
right. I think that's it for me. Um, that's how
Yeah.
I remember him. Um, those few matches are the ones that stick out to me. We didn't really get to see the technical side of Sabu often. It was really just high flying. Even if the match didn't allow for chairs in it, they would make an exception for Sabu for that
Oh
triple
yeah,
jump moonsault.
yeah.
Like,
He might not throw the chair at someone. He'll act like it, but God, that triple jump moonsault was a thing of fucking beauty, bro. And
yeah,
nobody
triple
can do
jump
it like
reset.
Sabu. Not,
Nobody better not ever try it.
no, I feel like somebody has to. People have to do his moves to carry on the legacy.
Okay, I I just feel like it's not going to be the same. But
It
really
won't be the
quickly,
same.
in regards to his last match, we've had some things come out. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but apparently there was hours before the show. They were like an hour into the show, and they weren't sure if he was going to make it. So he was given a synthetic opioid that is 100% legal, I guess. He was
Yep.
able to he was able to complete the match, but you could tell something was off visibly. I think everybody knew it based off the one clip that went off from that match, and that was the one where Joey Janela whips him into the door, and the not a rope, but the bottom barbed wire
The
rope
barbed
breaks.
wire.
Yeah, and he just sort of falls to the floor. And from what I heard, he was knocked out for a good portion of that time until the Sandman's music hit. But he was able to complete the match, and
And to further, the he didn't look like he was all there. Like during his entrance, most of his entrance was him looking for where Janela had the ring steps, which
there
weren't
were
there.
none. Yeah,
So yeah, and even in like when they were circling the ring to start, like you saw Sabu grabbing the back of his hamstring and shit like that. Like he was not in any shape to wrestle, but he did what he felt he needed to get this match happened and done. Yeah, it's a little cloudy and murky around everything that happened in the end, but you do look at that final moment where Janela did give Sabu his flowers, said that Sabu is on his Mount Rushmore, is his favorite wrestler. He was so happy to be able to have that match with him. And Janela was able to give Sabu his plaque for the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame, which Sabu no showed last year, which classic Sabu. But like even though everything is murky and like dark at the end, I think what they wanted to do was from a good place. They wanted to give Sabu his final send off the way that he wanted it, and Sabu was able to do it. I hate to say that, 3 weeks later we lost one of the biggest innovators in professional wrestling history, but I don't think he would have wanted it any other way.
I agree. I 100% agree. He he went out doing what he loved.
And
I
he gave us a match that no 60-year-old should have put on.
right. I think a lot of us would be lucky, to go out doing something that we enjoy. You know, um, last year or so, you heard stories about this one lady who worked for Wells Fargo. She passed away at her job, and they didn't find out until 4 or 5 days later. She was still at her desk. She was still at her cubicle. Um, Nobody checked up on her. Nobody thought to see, hey, this person didn't clock out on Friday. Let me see what's going on.
As a matter of fact, they didn't clock back in to start the shift.
Right. So there are 100% worse ways to meet your demise. I'm not saying that what the people involved did was okay. But what I am saying is for a legend of that caliber, definitely feels fitting. We're sending our thoughts and prayers to the family and all those that
Yeah,
are
to
affected,
the entire Brunk family.
and all
Uh,
the wrestlers that were closest to him and looked up to him, that he mentored. Um, our
Close
thoughts and
friends
prayers with
like
you.
RVD, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman.
Uh, the the Michael Jackson impersonator wrestler. Him
Did
too.
Sabu have a big part on his career?
He did.
Okay, I didn't
So
know
yeah,
about that.
yeah, and he left a touching tribute as well. Um, I think that's about it. I got to zoom into the office and get something to eat on the way. I don't want to end the episode like this, but you're still going live with Greg Cherry.
I hope so.
Hopefully, you can catch Maddie a little bit later tonight on the Greg Cherry Show. As always, shout out to Greg Cherry. Thank all 16 of y'all for rocking with us to the end of the episode. We hope to catch y'all on the next one. Go ahead and subscribe
Also,
to us
thank
on
y'all for
YouTube.
tuning in on a different time.
Yeah, no, this was a way different time. I think this is the second week in a row we've gone on at a different time. Hopefully, we can get back to our normal time next week.
Hopefully, I didn't. Hopefully, I don't have to work next week.
Me too. Well, that's it. That's it from us. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all stay safe. One more time for Sabu. Uh, y'all have a great rest of your day. Thanks again